All right, how's everybody doing? My name's Mike. We got Mr. Roots hanging out on place, and we also got Mr. Coco hanging out with us today. So what we're gonna do is work on Mr. Coco's daily routine. That's where we get the dogs up and we run them we work them in a circular motion, preferably in a small area. The reason we do that is so you don't require a large area to work the dog, because we can all find a small area, but not everybody has a large area. So it's very important to do this, like I said, in a small circular motion. That's also going to help the dog stay focused. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get the dog up and we're going to practice his heel, sit. We're also practicing them staying in those positions, even though we don't say the word stay. It's an implied stay. It's something we require from the dogs. When I say sit, I don't need to say sit, stay. I can just say sit, and if the dog moves, then we correct them. That's how we teach them to listen the first time we say something, so we don't have to keep repeating or tell them to do something else like stay. Because again, if the dog tries to get up off a place and I say stay, what I really meant was stay on place. So it's easier for the dog for you just to say place. So I got his crate out here, his place, and I'm going to work him at heel and his sit and him holding those positions. And we're going to just kind of do commands in succession with them so that you can kind of see what it looks like when a trained dog is starting to practice some of his commands. So let's go ahead and get started. As always make sure the collar's on right and looks good. And when we grab the leash, it doesn't mean the dog can get up. We still place. We repeat the word place just to make sure the dog knows. I wiggle the leash so the dog doesn't just get up because I'm grabbing the leash. Okay, heel. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Good job. Heel. Heel. Sit. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Good sit, buddy. Sit. Good boy. Good sit. Good boy. The reason I pet their head when I walk around, it helps them hold that position at first. Heel. Good boy. Sit. That boy, den. Good boy. Good den. If the dog tries to come out before I release him, then I would just use this door to close it and shut them. We want him to get used to having the door open, of course. Heel. Good boy. Sit. Attaboy. Good sit. Good job, buddy. Heel. Sit. Place. Good boy. Good place. Now this dog, I did confirm with the family that this dog was biting one of the owners in the home, bit him several times. And he was in fact controlling a lot of things with his mouth. And what I mean by with his mouth is either biting or barking. When people were embracing each other, the dog would bark and protest. And doing the simple exercises like this is practicing being dominant and in control of your dog. And when we make all the decisions, when the human tells the dog what to do and the dog works for the human, you're not going to see a symptom like the dog trying to make a decision like biting somebody. When they know their position and it's low on the totem pole, they're not going to go ahead and challenge a leader. So it's very important to use a leash and not treats. Treats will in fact make the dog very dominant, and especially if you're feeding a treat and you're not aware that you're reinforcing whatever the dog's doing in the moment. I know this dog was fed a lot of treats, and that's exactly what happened with this dog. And the dog became very dominant. It's one of the more dominant dogs I've ever worked with. Even though he's small, doesn't mean he can't be dominant. Even the way he looks at me is like, all the stuff he's doing right now, he would not do it if I didn't have this leash on. Heel. Good boy. Sit. Heel. Sit. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Heel. Hey. Sometimes I gotta slow him down because he wants to rush. Sit. Good boy. Sit. Now no hand. No. Sit. See, that's why we do the hand on the head. Heel. Sit. So I put them back in the same position when they move. Right, and I'll start with the hand on the head, sit, and I'll take it off and put it back on, and take it off and put it back on, just like that. So I do it intermittently. Sit, and then I can take it off, sit, for a lot more, just like that. Sit, good boy, sit, Attaboy. See how that works? That's dog training in real time, working right in front of you. That's how a dog learns, step by step. And that's even pretty quick. He did it pretty quick for that. But it's all on the person at the end of the leash. So it's up to the person at the end of the leash to have the good timing and to know what they're trying to do in training, to know what the goal is. The idea is that someone's got to be flying the plane at all times, and you as the dog owner are the one in charge of flying the plane. So that means you are never confused. You know exactly where you're going and what you're doing. And that's what's going to make the dog feel comfortable. That's why I get the eye contact that I get from these dogs, is because they're wanting to know what I want from them so they can avoid any type of correction or anything like that. Because dogs are very willing to please humans. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Good sit. Heel. Sit. Attaboy, good boy. It's very good for him to be able to start walking by other dogs and not reacting to them. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Den. Good boy. Good Den. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Good Den. So that's very good. You know, he goes in. You always want to evaluate your dog. Your dog walks in. What is he doing? He's sitting. That means he's more relaxed than if he was standing. If he was laying down, that would be even better. So the dog has 3 choices: sit, stand, or lay down. He's at number 2. So he's in the middle of being calm, relaxed, submissive. But as you see, when he's working with me at the end of the leash, he becomes very submissive. Heel. Good boy. Sit. Attaboy. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Sit. The other thing we can do with this dog, what I'm doing right now, is doing the commands in succession. We can also have them sit in the middle of the room and just have them hold that sit. Sit. And then it's going to create a very calm dog holding the one position. But this dog, he likes to move, right? So I want to be able to keep him entertained and challenged with me. This is definitely a challenge for him, but it's a little more entertaining for him if he's moving more. So I like to mix it up and do both and give him both ends of the spectrum. Good boy, good sit. So that's how we get the sit, stay. Sit. Good boy, good sit. This also teaches the dog that I can move. Just because I'm moving does not mean you are allowed to move. I can move. Again, it's all what you're doing with the leash. Okay, heel. Okay. Sit. So I had to correct him because he got a little bit ahead of me there. Heel. So I'll show you just right here. See, I got a little bit ahead of me. So if I go to turn like this, I want him to stay behind me. Good boy, good heel. And that's why we practice this inside, because it can be difficult outside. So inside, if you can do it in here, it's going to be easier to do it out there. Good boy, good job, buddy. Good heel. Sit. Good boy, good job. Good boy, good heel, buddy. Good boy. Place. Good job. Good boy, good play. So that's what he does. You do that once or twice a day for about 5-10 minutes, and that's how he does his daily routine, and that's what's going to keep him sharp and listening to me throughout the day. The other thing is just the way we live with the dog and move with the dog in and out of the home, and when we're here, when they're on place, the way we interact with the dog throughout the day is also going to train them. Good boy. I said that because he laid down on place. That's what we want them to do. I want him to look like him, so when he lays down, I say good boy. So throughout the day, when we're interacting with the dog, when we're walking them outside to go to the bathroom, having them sit at the front door and do all these training things, that's what's going to set your dog up to listen to you in your daily life. That's where they're going to be learning these commands, is throughout the day and in this routine that you saw. Otherwise, if you're not practicing it on a daily basis, you cannot expect your dog to perform it when you need them to, if you only ask them once in a while and in a situation when you're in a pinch. So you want to practice this with the dog when you're not in a stressful situation and teach them how to do it, and then eventually they can do it in a stressful situation.